AppJudgment is brought to you by GoDaddy. Hey everyone, it's Annie and welcome to AppJudgment, your source for mobile application reviews from Revision 3. Today we're talking about Pulse News Reader, which is the subject of some drama this week. And
Absolutely.
Here to talk to us about it is our esteemed editor, Graham Hancock.
Thanks
for joining us. So tell us about what happened.
Well, the Pulse Newsreader app hit the App Store about a month ago, and it was created by 2 Stanford graduate students. And it was just an RSS reader that was more visual than the other readers that have been out so far. It's very slick, it's very well designed, and it got more than 15,000 downloads in just a couple of days. So it got everybody's attention. It was at the very top of the paid App Store for a few days. And Steve Jobs, this past Monday, actually featured it on stage as one of the apps to check out on the iPad. So this small company that just launched about a month ago is already getting some really big attention.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, when Steve Jobs showed the app off on stage, he showed a screenshot of the app that showed the New York Times' RSS feed, and the New York Times did not like that for some reason. They researched the app apparently, and Apple got a letter from the New York Times' lawyers asking them to take the app down because it infringed on their content.
Okay. Well, what exactly was their objection? Because obviously there are tons of RSS feeders out there. What about this one did they not like?
Right. The lawyers, I'll quote from the letter that they sent. They said that the app, which sells for $3.99, represents a commercialization of the company's free RSS feeds, which violates the company's terms of use.
So it's that they're charging for content that they're providing for free.
According to the New York Times, they feel like if you're buying the Pulse Newsreader app and you're allowed to grab content from the New York Times page, then they're essentially making money off of the New York Times, and that's why they felt like it was infringing on their rights, and they decided to ask Apple to pull it down. Well, obviously you can see the problem with this is because they put a free RSS feed online available for anybody to download, and so you can't really ask anyone to pull down their app because you're putting something for free out there.
Right.
So the app was put back onto the App Store within a couple of hours, but that wasn't that you still got the attention of all the tech bloggers that were very, they just did not like this, how quickly Apple reacted, how quickly they pulled it down. So it was a pretty big deal.
Right. So you've been a Pulse user from the beginning, even before it was originally pulled. So tell us about the app.
The app is, like I said, very slick. When you open it up, it gives you sort of a mosaic of all of your stories. They call each line, each row, a stream. So as you can see, I've added the New York Times because I have the version that was out before they pulled it. And see TechCrunch, Mashable, you just scroll up and you see they've essentially go out and pull the articles that have images, that have media, and they show you a very visual mosaic of all the stories that you're wanting to read. If you hold it in portrait mode, then when you tap on a story, it minimizes the stream that you're on, and you see the whole story, and it's a very clean interface. The image that was the thumbnail of the article is now on the left, and you can kind of easily read through the whole thing. It's very, very stylish. And here's the other cool thing about Pulse. If you are reading an article in the interface and you're like, I kind of want to see that on the website of the author, you just tap this little button on the top right, and now I'm on the page where the story was. And you can read it in its original format. And this actually was why the whole New York Times thing was pretty confusing, because the New York Times only makes the truncated version of their feed available. So the only way for me to read the New York Times on the Pulse iPad app is to actually click that web button and read it on the New York Times' actual website. So this seems like they made a big deal over almost nothing. So how does Pulse compare? Do you have other RSS feeders? I do. And actually, Pulse it's sort of missing a few features of some of the RSS readers that I really enjoy on the iPad, like Feed Rack or News Rack is a very, very full-featured app that allows you to share things on Facebook and Twitter and use Instapaper. Pulse is actually approaching things from a simpler is better standpoint, and all you really get is a couple of buttons down at the bottom right that allow you to adjust the size of the print if you're on the text view. And then you have sharing options, which is just post to Facebook, post to Twitter, and email to my friends. And you have the home button, which will take you back to your mosaic of stories.
All right, well, it looks pretty sweet. It's back on the
It's
top
back.
of the paid apps.
They just put it back with some performance updates, which that actually just means they took the New York Times featured feed off of the app. So if you want to read the New York Times on Pulse, all you really need to do is go find it manually on Google Reader and import it back into Pulse. So it's sort of like they kind of made a big deal over nothing.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's what all the fuss is about. Thanks for joining us, Graham.
Thank you.
And letting us borrow your iPad. Anything else you'd like to see us review, let us know by email at appjudgment@revision3.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our homepage at revision3.com/appjudgment. Thanks for watching.
Get reliable, secure web hosting without the long-term contract. GoDaddy's hosting plans are bigger and better than ever with 99% uptime, free 24/7 support, and no annual commitment. Check out revision3.com/GoDaddy for a list of all the amazing GoDaddy deals from Revision 3. And use the code JUDGE8 at checkout to get 10% off any order.